It will soon be illegal for you to intentionally let go of a balloon outside.
Freedom.
Florida has now banned releasing balloons into the air, and this is one of those political situations where I can see both sides of the argument, but that's in the sense of having an academic discussion where you are debating a particular topic and whether or not something should be legal. When you start talking about actually making something illegal, that means you then have to enforce it. So in this case, in Florida, they're going to be using taxpayer dollars to pay police to police balloons. And again, I understand from an environmental standpoint, these balloons are probably terrible, but from an actual freedom standpoint, this is another step in the wrong direction. It's also a part of another larger conversation, which is whether or not we need a law for every single thing that is considered bad. One thing to keep in mind here is Ron Desantis loves to ban stuff as long as it is politically advantageous. After all, he is the governor that signed into law hate crime littering.
So the way we're going to approach this is through a hate crime kicker. So if you graffiti a building, it is a crime now. But if your motivation is hate, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in prison.
They put you in jail right away. No trial, no nothing.
If you want to litter, it's a crime right now. But if you litter and your motivation is a hate crime, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in jail.
You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away.
It is a crime right now to hang banners from an interstate. For obvious reasons, we don't want to distract drivers. But if you do that and you have a hate crime, a hate motivation, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in jail.
You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook.
One of the reasons that I always lean towards opposing legislation like this, regardless of the outcome in most cases, is because it often sets up a two-tiered system between the citizens and the government. And overall, it just seems like this crazy controlled society straight out of a movie like Demolition Man. A perfect example of why I would oppose something like this is the fact that the government wrote an exemption for the government to be able to send these balloons into the air.
Now, exceptions to the law include hot air balloons, balloons released indoors, and those released on behalf of a government agency for specific purposes.
So there you have it. DeSantis signs a bill into law that makes it illegal to release balloons into the air. Meanwhile, they write a nice little exemption in that allows the ruling class to continue to do whatever they want. For the record, I've never released a balloon into the air intentionally for any reason, and I don't plan on starting now. But again, this just screams of government overreach. Here is more information about this bill that is now law, and you can decide for yourself.
It will soon be illegal for you to intentionally let go of a balloon outside.
Governor Desantis just signed a new bill into law, and it comes from a pair of local legislators.
Releasing balloons for memorials, gender reveals, and other celebratory events will soon be no longer allowed in our state. Now, this is in an effort to protect our waterways like our beaches and the creatures who live in them. Now, this new law banning the intentional release of balloons goes into effect this upcoming Monday. The legislation's sponsor out of St. Pete Beach, Representative Linda Cheney, says a released balloon is damaging and there's nothing good about it. Violators of the new law could receive a $150 fine. Now, exceptions to the law include hot air balloons, balloons released indoors, and those released on behalf of a government agency for specific purposes. Now, moms, this might concern you with your children, but no need to worry for children under the age of 6 years old. Those kids are exempt from the law as well.
As I think it was President Reagan said, we're from the government. We're here to help.